This year I was hoping to split up the rhizome from my hops to get a few plants going. So there weren't any rhizomes big enough to cut out of the roots, so I decided to do something a little unconventional and I've been wanting to try out for a bit. I wanted to try to make some clones from some cuttings. And everything was going really well. I even used a beer that I was brewing to supply the cuttings with CO2, and they really liked that until this happened. Alright, so I've had my clones going for a couple weeks now, and here's how they turned out. Not too great. Unfortunately, I found out I have spider mites. All my hops, not only my clones, are hit with spider mites, so I had to take some action if I was gonna get a harvest. These little nasty creatures are near microscopic, so unless you have a lute or a microscope, it's pretty hard to see them. The best way to tell if you have them, on the top of your leaves you'll see little yellow freckles. And this is because the spider mites actually suck out the nutrients from the cell walls of the leaves, leaving these little discolorations. So in order to deal with my spider mite problem, I purchased both Azamax and Mighty. So what I'm gonna do is, the life cycle of the spider mite is 3 days. So every 3 days I'm gonna alternate between both insecticide. This way you're not creating any resistant spider mites. And hopefully that cuts back on my problem. Now, a couple things when doing this: you want to make sure that you get both the top and bottom of the leaf, most importantly the bottom, because that's where they live, that's where they lay their eggs. So that's gonna get rid of them, but cover as much as possible because they might wander. Don't do it during the day. This can hurt honeybees. So you want to do it either early in the morning or in the afternoon. I'm doing it in the afternoon right now just because I usually have things to do in the morning. It's better to do it in the morning. When you do it in the afternoon, you have a greater chance of mildew. But I'm just gonna risk it. So yeah, and then 3 days from now, I'm gonna hit it with Mighty. Another thing I ran into during this year is I kept finding these bugs and little yellow eggs all over my plants. These things looked pretty threatening, but if you keep an eye on them, they eventually turn into this, which then turns into this. And they could actually help kill things such as aphids and even the spider mites. So if you see that, just leave them alone. They're really good for your garden. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content on this channel, please go check out Review and Brew, where we pair movies with beer and review them both.